National African American Women's Fitness Month is a recognition of the health issues Black women face, as well as a way to highlight activities to develop improved fitness habits. In this video, I'm going to outline some of those issues as well as talk about solutions, especially as they relate to nature. This is A Curious Wonderful Nature, the channel that helps city dwellers connect with nature through foraging, citizen science, folklore, storytelling, myths, and nature-oriented news items. I'm your host, Quinn. Welcome. According to the American Heart Association, roughly half of all Black women suffer from cardiovascular disease, and many more die from heart-related illnesses than all other ethnicities. We suffer from high blood pressure, we suffer from diabetes, obesity, we smoke, and like other Americans, we don't get enough physical activity and we don't go outdoors enough. I'm going to talk about how being outdoors and specifically engaging in outdoor fitness helps both our physical as well as our emotional and mental well-being. There are several hypotheses to explain why spending time outdoors and specifically in natural environments helps our mental well-being. One hypothesis suggests that because our human ancestors evolved in wild settings and relied on the environment for survival, it's just something that's part of us. It's something that's hardwired in us, something that drives us to connect with nature. Another hypothesis suggests that spending time in nature triggers a physiological response that lowers stress levels. Basically, just being in nature triggers our body to feel less stressed. A third hypothesis posits that nature replenishes one's cognitive resources, restoring the ability to concentrate and pay attention, meaning that when we feel mentally spent, nature just fills us back up. The truth is, it's probably all three things. Being outside in nature is relaxing. It reduces our stress. It reduces our cortisol levels, muscle tension, and heart rates. And these are all things that are cardiovascular risks. And for city dwellers, this includes green spaces like parks and blue spaces like lakes and rivers. One study concluded that being in nature for 120 minutes gives you the benefits that we just talked about. And that 120 minutes can be spaced out 5 times a week, 6 times a week, or even one 120-minute session. So that's the being in nature part. So how does that relate to physical fitness? Some studies have shown that natural environments and urban spaces are more enticing than indoor spaces, leading to higher levels of fitness. In enclosed spaces like gyms, germs can be everywhere, especially if people do not bother to clean their machines, basically wipe up their sweat after they've been exercising on it. Bacteria can jump from one person to another quite easily. If you exercise outdoors, you can avoid this and get fresher air. Do you want to touch anyone's sweat? I don't. Think about it. Where would you rather be? a cinder block kind of environment where people may or may not wipe the machines down, where they may or may not be sick when they're coughing, and the air isn't moving around and it's not well ventilated, or to be outdoors where there may be some wind and there's some fresh air, especially when you're around trees. I have my answer. As recommended by the American Health Association, you only need about 150 minutes per week of moderate physical activity, preferably spread out through the week. So maybe you exercise 5 times a week for 30 minutes, or you exercise 3 times a week for 50 minutes. Either way, doing that and being exposed to sunlight and to greenery will boost your mental health and can be an important factor in managing mood disorders. The length and intensity of green exercise, meaning exercise that's taking place outdoors, matters. Gentle jogging or walking for 15 minutes provided a sense of calm to those who participated, but past 40 minutes, people felt more drained and those benefits kind of decreased. So there seems to be a sweet spot somewhere between 15 and 40 minutes of exercising outdoors. Here's some activities that you can engage in outdoors. Walk around your neighborhood at a rate of at least 2.5 miles per hour, especially if you live in an area that has a good green or blue space. I talk about walking as an exercise in a previous video. I'll link it in the description below. Walking on uneven terrain, so climbing over rocks or walking over rocks. If you do that, however, I'm going to suggest that you have proper footwear. Running uphill and over rocks. Again, the same statement that I made above about having the proper footwear to do that. You really want to have really good ankle support when you are active outdoors like that. If you have access to one, gardening is a great way to get your fitness in. And if you don't have a garden, it may be a good opportunity for you to join a community garden or to volunteer at a garden that is at your school for your children. Spend time cycling around your neighborhood, especially if your neighborhood has a lot of trees. If you don't have a bike, you can take advantage of a bike from City Bike or Divvy Bike or whatever the municipal bike system is in your city. Additionally, you can rent a bike from bike shops. In addition to bicycling around your neighborhood, you can also go biking on a trail. Again, you want to have the right bicycle for mountain biking. I try to get in about 8,500 to 10,000 steps at least 5 days a week outdoors, primarily in a park or woods kind of area in my city, or by taking a walk along the river, in addition to strength training 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not a coach and I'm not a doctor, so I suggest that you do consult your physician prior to starting any sort of physical conditioning regimen. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave links in the description below to some of the studies that I referred to in this video, as well as some fitness coaches that I also mentioned. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be curious, stay wonderful, and bye for now.